And I'd like to see if you, I'm sorry, Jean Han, Ji-hee, if you could please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you.
Not there now.
Sorry, she'll call back. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so I need a motion and a second to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Okay, motion carried. All right, so we have a few items that I need to read from report of closed session. Okay, thank you. All right, so the Board of Education in closed session voted unanimously to ratify the following. Hello, Mrs. Reagans. All right, so we were reading what the report from closed session is. Okay, so where am I? Let's see, in closed session, voted unanimously to ratify the following administrative appointment effective September 12, 2016. Dr. Sean Johnson, where are you? Dr. Johnson, hi there. Elementary principal at Wood Elementary School. Sean began the 2016-2017 school year as the assistant principal at Casimir Middle School. She previously served as the assistant principal at Birtland Middle School from November 2013 to June 2016, as an acting principal at Anza Elementary from November 2014 to February 2015, as an elementary teacher at Seaside Elementary School from September 1998 to November 2013, and as an elementary teacher at Hickory Elementary School from September 1996 to June 1998. She received her Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Studies, minor psychology at San Diego State University in 1984, a Master of Arts in Education Administration at California State University, Dominguez Hills in 2000, and her Doctorate of Education in Learning and Instruction with a specialization in literacy, learning, and language at the University of Southern California, Los Angeles in 2005. We would like to congratulate Sean.
Dr. Mannon and the cabinet, Mrs. Deutsch and the board, I just want to thank you for this opportunity. I'm excited to be serving the Torrance Unified School District in the capacity as the elementary principal at Wood.
Well,
Thank you.
I went to
Thank
school
Welcome.
there
Oh, thank you.
many years ago, before she was probably
Yes.
born.
Thank you. Okay, so now we move on to our next action in closed session. The Board of Education in closed session voted unanimously to approve the following administrative appointments effective September 20th, 2016. Dr. Kumi Toyota Smart, Coordinator of Special Education. Where are you, Dr. Smart? There you are. Hello. Okay, come on over. Kumi served as the principal at John Adams Elementary since 2011. She previously served as a teacher at Arnold Elementary School since 1997. She received her Bachelor of Arts in Japanese Language and Literature at the University of California, Irvine in 1992. Her Master of Arts in Education at Pepperdine University in 1997, and her Doctor of Education at the University of Southern California, Los Angeles in 2010. We would like to congratulate Kumi. Kumi,
Thank you
congratulations.
Thank you very much for your faith in me as a person, and I plan to support the education of all the students in Torrance Unified School District. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay. All right. Next, Dr. Erin Lar. Where is Dr. Lar? There you are. Hi. Coordinator of Special Education. Erin served as principal at Edison Elementary since 2008. She previously served as the Director of Teacher Development at the Inner City Education Foundation Public Charter Schools in Los Angeles in 2008, BITSA resource teacher for 2006-2007 school year in our district, and a teacher at Hickory Elementary School from 1998-2006. She received her Bachelor of Arts in Economics at the University of California, Los Angeles in 1985, her Master of Arts in Educational Leadership at California State University, Dominguez Hills in 2006, and her Doctor of Education in Educational Leadership at the University of Southern California, Los Angeles in 2010. We would like to congratulate Erin.
Thank you, President Deutsch and board members and Dr. Mannon and Cabinet. I'm really excited to be here tonight. Looking forward to this opportunity to make a big contribution to all the students in Torrance Unified and all my colleagues. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, and last but not least, Bobby Winhoff. Where's Bobby? Bobby's Coordinator of Special Education. Bobby served as the principal at Walteria Elementary since 2008. She previously served as an assistant principal at Victor Elementary School from 2007-2008, an assistant principal at Launch Preschool from 2004 to 2007, a program specialist in special education from 1999 to 2004, elementary counselor from 1996 to 1999, and resource specialist at Casimir Middle School from 1989 to 1996. She received her Bachelor of Science in Education at the University of Wisconsin in 1979 and her Master of Arts in Special Education at California State University, Dominguez Hills in 1991. We would like to congratulate Bobby.
Thank you, President Deutsch, board members, Dr. Mannon, and Cabinet. It's coming full circle for me to go back into the Office of Special Education. I'm very excited. I'm excited for what we can do for all our students in Torrance, and thank you for this opportunity.
You're very welcome. Well, congratulations to all of these new appointments, and we wish you all the very best. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and move on to the next item on our agenda, which is recognitions, correct? That's what. Yes, yes. So I'd like to call.
Recognition and start with Dr.
Okay, great. So we're going to go ahead and come down. Because I'm new to this. So.
I'd like to first call up Zobeda Morales from Jefferson Middle School. Mrs. Morales began her employment in TUSD at Jefferson Middle School as a 6th, 7th, and 8th grade science teacher in 2014. She quickly transitioned as a beloved teacher and expert in STEM. Zoe's passion for children in the field of STEM education stands out daily in her mindset of teaching to the whole child, developing as a lifelong learner, and in her work to bring out students' personal best. She has the exceptional reputation as an instructional lead and compassionate educator. She is seen as a valuable resource and a lead on this campus. JMS colleagues and peers from other sites seek out Zoe out for her support, professional suggestions, and instructional best practices. Mrs. Morales, JMS is very proud of you and all of your accomplishments. Congratulations.
Oh, yeah. We should put lions in there.
Next, I'd like to call up Classified Employee of the Year Middle School, Mrs. Doreen Asari from Cali Middle School. Doreen has been working for Torrance Unified at Cali Mayor for the last 8 years as a library media technician. She is a very dedicated person and the model for selfless service to students, staff, and the school. Her dedication far exceeds her job title as a library media tech. She is the advisor to the school recycling club and the free after-school tutoring program, serves on school site council, and handles a myriad of technology on school campus. Doreen is an amazing individual who does not look at the idea of supporting students or staff as an hourly idea. She is the person who works until the job is done. Doreen truly wants Cali Mayor to be an amazing place, and she's a big reason why it is so great. Thank you, Doreen.
And we'd now like to call up the certificated employee of the year for high school, Mr. Greg Wheeler. Greg Wheeler has served the North High community for over 20 years in several different roles. As a cross-country and track coach, Greg mentored hundreds of students to become scholar athletes. As the science department chair, Greg fostered an inclusive environment where teachers felt supported. The science department thrived. Recently, Greg has played a pivotal role in establishing the engineering program at North High. He helped build the program up from 2 classes with more expected next year. Greg has been able to obtain computers and equipment for the engineering program, allowing students to practice hands-on engineering skills. Further, students have taken several field trips to aerospace companies, construction firms, and robotic competitions. He has also arranged for engineers, computer scientists, and construction managers to visit North High. Greg has also served as a supportive mentor, has willingly shared his lessons, teaching techniques, and equipment without hesitation, while continuing to push students academically while supporting them so that they can be successful. He's one of the initial writers of the integrated science program. I'm happy to call him one of my colleagues. I think we started teaching almost at the same time. And he's been he was a very inspirational teacher and continues to be. Congratulations, Greg.
More north people, come on over. Come on, please. Yeah, we have said.
Rosansky, get over here.
Everybody's dressed up.
Okay. There we go. Those accents.
Let's get those Facebook smiles. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
And our classified employee of the year for high school, Andy Jones. Andy began her career in the Torrance Unified School District in 1989 at Torrance High School, and then later moved on to Wood Elementary School in 1994. She finally found her home at South High School. Over this 27-year span, she broadened her experiences, excelled in her area of expertise, and became a valuable asset to South High School students, staff, faculty, and an integral part of our activity and athletic programs. She began her career at South High School in the business athletic office. Her knowledge of business practices and school culture served as a welcome asset to the chaotic office environment that managed a myriad of responsibilities. Andy continued to nurture her strengths at South High when she leaped at the opportunity to grow professionally in the Student Services Office. Her keen attention to detail, her rapport with students, and her ability to be flexible, her willingness to take on additional projects, and her expansive knowledge of the office has not only served the needs of more than 6 assistant principals during her tenure, but also the needs of our entire teaching staff. The respect she has garnered from students, staff, and community is genuine. Her intelligence and resourcefulness continue to benefit South High School. Her compassion, warmth, and bubbly personality serve as a welcoming beacon of light for the staff. And her participation and commitment to the athletic and activity programs will be remembered at South High School for years to come. Congratulations, Andy.
Please help me welcome Gail Hall, Certificated Employee of the Year for the Adult School. Gail has consistently exemplified the highest standards in ESL instruction during her career at Torrance Adult School. In addition to being an outstanding teacher, she has provided leadership to her fellow ESL teachers. In addition to her regular teaching assignment, she also took over the lead teacher position in our community-based English tutoring program and ESL family literacy program in 2005. Gail's initiative and excellent organizational and personal skills provided much-needed leadership and continuity to this program until it was terminated in 2008. Last year, Gail also began working in the ESL distance learning program, providing materials and individualized help for students who utilize this instructional delivery method. Once again, this was in addition to her regular teaching assignment. Fellow teachers and students have all benefited from her outstanding organizational skills and commitment to excellence. One of her fellow teachers wrote, "We are very fortunate to have Gail on our adult school team. She is an extremely hard worker because she holds to the highest standards and cares deeply about her students and coworkers. Gail Hall is a dedicated, excellent teacher, well respected by her peers, and is eminently qualified to be the Certificated Adult School Employee of the Year for 2016-17. Oh, that's right. Coming from all directions. That's a group.
Family, blood family, and then adult family. Biological. Okay.
Well, but we're not like, okay. We'll let her determine. Even you guys out a little. There we go. That'll work. Have everybody take one step that way. Perfect. Amy. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Everyone else.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, everyone. Yeah, everybody. Come on, guys. Come on.
I will make sure you can take it. Okay, the rule here is if you can see me, I can see you. If you can't see the camera, someone's hiding in the back. Okay, yeah, you guys, okay. Hopefully everyone's you squeeze in. Yes. Oh, pretty face. Okay. Big smiles. 1, 2, 3. Stay put for 1 second. There you go. Yes. Go.
It is my pleasure to introduce Razia Khan, Classified Employee of the Year for the Adult School. Razia started out as an ESL student with Torrance Adult School in 1997. In 1999, the school began to provide child care services for the children of ESL students, and Razia was hired to be part of that program. Razia always made herself the supervising teacher's right hand. She worked equally well with small children who needed nurturing as she did with the older children who needed homework help. She also helped the parents learn English when there were no children who needed her. Mrs. Khan has continued to work in the child care program through a number of site changes and now is assigned to the Hamilton Center Child Care Program. Although the child care program is not a true preschool, Razia creates a structured classroom with rules the children can easily follow. She is kind and loving with them and makes sure they have a balance of activities throughout the day in an environment that is conducive to learning. The children's days included themed topics with art projects, music, books, dance, and outdoor playtime. She treats the children as if they are her own, and it can be seen from the attitude of the children that they thrive under her care. The school, students, and their children are better because of Razia Khan and her work here. One of her supervisors wrote, "Razia has a positive attitude and is well liked by other staff members and students. She is helpful and intuitive and displays kindness and concern for others. Razia Khan exemplifies the positive, student-centered ideals of the school and the Torrance Unified School District."
Let's go, guys. There we go. Line of sight with everyone. Very nice. Okay, me and then behind you. So stay put. 1, 2, 3. Smiling. Okay. There we go. Yes, ma'am. Hey, you need to. Oh, me.
There you go.
I'd like to introduce and call up Mrs. Hiroko Sumi, Classified Employee of the Year for District Support. Longtime Torrance resident Hiroko Sumi has dedicated 30 years of exemplary service to the Torrance Unified School District. Hiroko's 30-year career with TUSD started in 1986 as a clerical substitute. Then she served as secretary for Magruder Middle School for 11 and a half years, where I had the pleasure of working with her for about 8 of those. And since then she left there, went on to the TUSD testing department for 2 years, and then the Personnel Commission for 8. Since 2008, Hiroko has been the heart and soul of the special education department and is still going strong. She's known as the go-to person, and if you need anything in that department, go to her. She has the answer. She's definitely appreciated by teachers, parents, colleagues, administrators, and others because of her calm demeanor, her institutional knowledge, and ability to just handle problems. Hiroko is truly a gem. The TUSD or the district and the community celebrate her dedication and service to the children of the district. Thank you.
Add that color.
Now it's my pleasure to call up our Classified Employee of the Year for elementary schools, Miguel Moreno. Please come on up. Miguel cares deeply about his work, but even more so about the people he serves and works with. It is not only that everything he does, but he does it very well. It's also a fact that he does it with a smile and with a concern for the needs of all people that he is helping every day. It's so important for school to have a good custodian, and Miguel fits the bill in every way. You can always count on this man. He is extraordinarily competent and honest with a work ethic that is unmatched. It's a pleasure to be able to recognize such a fine worker who is also such a fine human being. UConn is most appreciative and so thankful for Miguel. Congratulations, Miguel. Last but not least, I'd like to introduce to you the Elementary School Certificated Employee of the Year, Shelley Miller. Shelley is a veteran of 21 years at Towers Elementary School. She's taught kindergarten, 1st, 3rd, and 5th grades. But whatever grade level she is teaching, her goal has always been to help her students maximize their potential. She has never stopped learning and moving forward with the changes in education at the national, state, and local levels. She immerses herself in the latest best practices instructional strategies. She has the vision, courage, wisdom, and professional knowledge that create opportunities for all children to be engaged and motivated in what they are learning, as well as improve student achievement. In addition, Shelley is a team player, and oftentimes, she's the leader of the team. All staff members welcome her positive attitude, comments, critiques, and suggestions. Her knowledge and experience gives credibility to her words. Her intelligence and character are what help lead Towers in a very positive direction. Shelley embodies what Teacher of the Year recognize, and she's truly earned that honor. So much so that she's also the TUSD representative to the Los Angeles County Office of Education Teacher of the Year program. Just last Friday, she was honored as one of the LACO Teachers of the Year near Universal Studios, and we had a lot of fun that day for lunch. Right, Shelley? Congratulations, Shelley Miller.
Well, again, congratulations to all of you. Let's all give them a big last round of applause. Okay, well, thank you again. What we would like to move on to and do the introduction of our student representative to the board, first quarter 2016-2017, and report by the student representative. Dr. Dugal,
Thank you.
welcome.
Good evening. I'm very honored to welcome Jaehee An. She is the ASB president at West High School. She's been on ASB for 4 years and is also currently the NHS president as well. She's been volunteering at Little Company of Mary, and this volunteer experience has made her interested in the medical field, and she's interested in becoming a physician's assistant and attending Northeastern University. We'd like to welcome Jaehee An.
Thank you for having me. Right now we are working on freshman elections, which is going to be next week, as well as homecoming, which is going to be on the 15th of October. And we are also working on Club Rush, which is this Wednesday. And Club Rush is kind of where a lot of clubs come in and kind of introduce themselves to the students so that they know which clubs they would like to join. This kind of targets towards the freshmen, so they would know, participated in many activities on campus. That's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Well, welcome.
Just a moment of recess to allow people who might want to leave.
Absolutely. We will have a moment of recess to allow people to leave if they'd like to right now.
We won't be
Thank you.
offended.
Yes,
Really,
we
we
will
won't.
not be offended. Good night, everyone. Thank you for coming. Yes, congratulations. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and get our meeting started again. I'd like to go ahead and we have a new section in our school board meetings. It's called the Good News Student Presentations. And this is actually a concept that Mrs. Reagans and I talked to some of our cabinet members to give us an update on individual school sites and what good stuff is happening, because we're so far removed from it that we're hoping that we can have this year. And I want to thank you for being the first ones that come out today. Please know that you're among family, and we just want to make sure that you feel good about what you do, okay? But welcome. So I guess, Dr. Kim, are you going to start? Or is it Dr. Dugal? Okay.
Thank you, Mrs. Deutsch. It's my pleasure to introduce one of our 5th grade student leaders from Adams Elementary, Ms. Silahan. Can you please come on up?
Hi.
Joining her are Principal Dr. Kumi Spart, Teacher Judy Van Wee, and your mom, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Great. Okay.
Please tell us what's happening at Adams.
Adams is a small school, but it doesn't feel like it because we're able to do what bigger schools can do. We can do these things because Adams has a great community. Since it's small, we all know each other very well, and we treat each other like family. We all care for each other, and we encourage one another. Most importantly, we help each other out. At our school, we have reading buddies almost every Friday of the school year. The 3rd and 2nd graders read to the younger ones and help them learn to read. Another thing that makes our school great is that our teachers are so involved. They don't just support our education, but they support our community. When we have fundraisers, they're always there for us. At McDonald's night, you'll always see them at the counter. They come to our PTA events like the Hoda and the Carnival. They are also there to help out at science and math nights. One of our teachers is even here today to support me. We have some of the most dedicated teachers, and that's something that makes Adams so special. This is my last year here at Adams, and I'm thankful that I am a part of the Adams family. Once a Patriot, always a Patriot.
Thank you very much. Can you point out your teacher that came to support you? Oh, hi. And you are? Oh, okay. That was nice. Good job being the first. Excellent.
I would now like to call up Mrs. Patty Gergis from Hull Middle School. Also in attendance is Mr. Efren Ponce, the assistant principal.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Board of Education, Cabinet. I'd like to introduce two of our students from Hull Middle School. I have Miss Ruby Mock, a 7th grader, and I have Mr. Jason Benkin, an 8th grader. So first we'll have Ruby come up.
Okay. Hi, Ruby.
Hi. Thank you for having us here today.
You're welcome.
I'm here to share a couple nice things about J.H. Hull Middle School. And I'm going to start with our Project Lead the Way course in Flight in Space and Green Architecture. We mix up independent projects and group projects. And an example of a group project is building an air compressed rocket, which we practice on the field. And an independent project is our end of the year project, which we are going to construct a house out of a rocket ship, and we're learning how to become an engineer and how to build properly. We're learning proper measurements and the requirements to build stable structures. We're also learning team building exercises such as group projects. Another point I'm going to talk about is our GATE and High Achieving, which consists of students with a 3.75 GPA and higher. Our last year's majors trip, our CME trip, was a 3-day Catalina trip, which consisted of scuba diving off the shore, kayaking in the ocean, and learning about the deep sea and the constellations in space. We have day field trips, such as last year. We took a trip to the California Science Center and learned about the Endeavour, flight, space, and blood systems. This year's 3-day trip, scheduled for March in 2017, is a Pali Adventure Camp in Idlewild. It's a new trip that we're still working on to create the best experience possible for our GATE and High Achieving students.
Thank you. Wow, you're busy. All right, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Tonight I have prepared 3 things to share with you. Student Council. Student Council is something I look forward to every year. I love it because it is awesome to see all of our hard work pay off. Some things we do in Student Council are Spirit Weeks and planning dances. I love Sports Day and Class Color on Fridays. There are a lot of us in Student Council, and I know I can rely on any of them because they do this on their own time. Some of the other people I can rely on in Student Council are the 3 council teachers who volunteered their time as well to help Student Council. I have gotten to know Miss Kep, Miss Colclaser, and Miss Wareham through Student Council. I was honored to serve as Student Council Vice President last year, and I can't wait to be a part of Student Council this year. The Student of the Month Assembly is always fun to plan, and I get very excited to see everyone being involved in school spirit when we have the games. My 2 favorite games are Over Under Sponge because it is fun on a hot day, and Hungry Hungry Hippos because everyone gets competitive and it is really great to watch. It is where the kids lie down on a board and try to capture plastic balls with bins while the teammate directs them by holding their feet. The last thing I'll talk to you about is the Welcome Everyone Back / 6th grade orientation. It was a lot of fun to play games with the 6th graders and show them how to open lockers and cover books. My favorite part was giving tours with my best friend. They were all excited to see their classes and they all asked great questions. I am so happy I was able to interact with Hull's brand new Hawks and see some of them participate in Hull's many great new activities. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share with all of you my thoughts on JH Hull Middle School.
You're very welcome. Thank you. You did a great job, all of you. Okay, next, I'd like to call on the Torrance Teachers Association initial contract proposal for 2016, 2017.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, and cabinet. Deborah Tabush, Torrance Teachers Association. I'm here tonight as the newly elected Torrance Teachers Association president. Together with my colleagues, we are presenting to you TTA's initial 2016-17 contract proposal. The items on this proposal were not generated in a vacuum. TTA leadership gathered data from all members to give their input throughout this year-long process. The information we collected was discerned and brought back to our members to make sure we got it right. Before you is our proposal, which is a direct reflection of this process. Our negotiation team looks forward to initiating and continuing discussions with TUSD in hopes of reaching an amicable agreement that will be in the best interest of teachers and students of Torrance Unified. Thank you.
Thank you. As you are aware, state law provides that we hold a hearing for public input regarding the Torrance Teachers Association initial contract proposal for 2016-2017 before the board gives its initial response to the proposal. Copies of the proposal will be available to the public in all city libraries and in the Human Resources Department. Time for public comment on the contract proposal will be provided at the October 10, 2016 Board of Education meeting. So now we move on to oral communications on scheduled hearings. Instruction to the public. The Board of Education welcomes input from the public. In order to discuss district business in an orderly manner for the privacy and safety of the speakers and to help staff respond more directly, the board policies require that public presentations to the board comply with certain procedures, including 1, speakers to non-agenda items may address only items that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. Time allotted for such presentations is limited to 3 minutes. Total time allotted for public input on non-agenda items is limited to 30 minutes. 2, a speaker may not relinquish her time to another. 3, when addressing the board, speakers are requested to state their name, address the president from the podium, and adhere to the applicable time limits. 4, complaints against employees or students will normally be heard in closed session, and the district's complaint procedure should be followed before discussion with the board. The board may remove disruptive individuals and order the room cleared if necessary. Any person who willfully disturbs any public school meeting is guilty of a misdemeanor. Okay, I have a card here, Julie Schenkel, TTA.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, cabinet, and the community. I'm Julie Schenkel. I am Torrance Teachers' newly elected representative to California State Council. I represent them at the CTA level, at the state level. And I'd like to take a moment to thank you guys for supporting Prop 55 at the last board meeting by adopting a resolution in support of your students and your educators in this community. Your support of Prop 55 helps us to prevent overcrowding from returning to our classrooms, helps us to prevent programs from being cut, helps us to also try to go forward. Instead of being 51st in the nation in education funding, which we were just a few short years ago, we're now 41st in the nation, and we need to continue moving forward toward that goal. And so we again want to thank you for supporting us in this resolution, and we look forward to hearing more from you. Thanks.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, that's all I have is for our unscheduled hearings. Discussion action items. I need a motion and a second for the approval of the proposed board policies update, July 2016 revisions, first reading.
So moved, and I'll make a motion to waive the second reading.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, if not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Okay, motion carried, thank you. All right, so I need a motion and a second for the selection of Board of Education candidate for reappointment to Personnel Commission Board.
So moved.
Second.
Dr. Liberati.
Thank you, Ms. Deutsch. Members of the board, per the process and timeline found in the Personnel Commission Rules and Regulations Handbook, Section 2.1.2.1, this is the public announcement of the board's reappointment of Mr. Gary Kuwahara as the board's representative to the Personnel Commission Board for a 3-year term commencing December 1, 2016. Mr. Kuwahara is currently on the commission. His term will expire end of November. The Personnel Commission Rules and Regulations also calls for a public hearing, which is scheduled to take place in this room on November 14th, 2016, at 7:30. And that is all.
At that time, we actually vote, okay, all right. So now we just, we are approving the selection of the Board of Education, or how, no? There's no-
We are naming,
there's action, okay. Okay, got it, okay, thank you. So now we moved on to consent agenda. So, right, this is for 9.3, staff presentation and info. Oh, did we move back?
That we already did that. Okay, then I will make a motion to approve consent items 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
I'd like to pull 19.8.
19.8?
Mm-hmm.
Well, everything except for 19.8.
I'll second that.
Can I make a comment? I just want to say I have no items to pull, Mr. Lee. Thank you.
Wow.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Reagans. So.
I'm appropriately
No comment.
stunned.
Okay, we have a first, and did we move in second for all, like, for the exception that we're pulling, item 19.8? Okay, any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say no. Okay, motion carried, thank you. Okay, so now we move on
I make a
to-
motion, we approve 19.8.
Okay, thank you. Second?
I'll second that.
Okay, discussion, Mr. Warmers.
Dr. Stowe or Mr. Rondeau, anybody want to explain why we're getting 10% back? I'm thrilled, don't get me wrong, I'm not asking to give it away, but I'm dying to know what happened. I'm sorry, which,
The floor at
Flooring.
North.
Per flooring?
Would you like me to read that to you?
Yeah, so.
Oh, we don't know?
This is, on all the projects, we go forward with an estimate of what that cost is gonna be once we get into the actual work. On this one, there was an unused balance for the subfloor work in the gym at North High. This is Saxon Hall at North High, and so this is a deductive change order, we call them, and so essentially cost 10.8% less than what we thought it was going to cost.
Since we've moved away from the lease back, I've never seen that happen. Is this?
Yeah, there actually were, Mr. Wormers, there were a number of, there typically aren't this large, but if you look at the last agenda, there were a number of things that occurred that were deductive change orders.
Real little.
Couple $1,000s here and there.
Okay, I was just curious if there's something changed in scope. Usually something this significant, since the lease back has gone away, I've accepted that we've gone up in price. That's part of the, it's a different world. Things change, but when I saw something low, I was wondering if we had a change in scope or nothing dramatic like that.
No.
Okay, all right. Sorry I bothered everybody. I was just curious if I'd missed something in the whole process.
Okay, any other questions? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say
Aye.
no. Okay, motion carried, thank you. Okay, so we move on to item 20 on our agenda, which is information. We have the board calendar, and revisions to administrative rules and exhibits. Then we move on to item 21, which is comments from members of the Board of Education. Mrs. Reagans, do you have anything to report?
I actually do, but I'd like to defer my comments to the next meeting.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments from my other colleagues?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Rogers.
We have at 2 school sites, I'm looking at Dr. Dugal and Dr. Crumpy here, we have 2 school sites using TED Ed clubs, North High and South High. Of the things that stress people out, the death of a spouse, the death of a parent, and speaking in public. That's the sequence that stresses people out. And a TED Ed club teaches people how to speak in public. I'd like to see West and Torrance High pick up this concept or idea. I think it's a great idea. I watched Mitzi Stover do it at North High, and we have a new teacher, Ms. Schultz, doing it at South High. It's a good club. It's not speech and debate. It's not competitive. You don't have to argue with anybody. You simply give a speech about something that matters to you if you're not familiar with TED Talks. I'd like to see our schools. I'd love to see it actually organically grow. If we can nudge it along and go from the stuff I've been reading, it'll happen as low as the elementary school grades and work their way up through middle onto high. From talking to Mitzi Stover and Ms. Schultz, it sounds like this is a really student-driven program. It's got a lot of positives behind it. Any way we can help nudge that forward, I'd love to be, that's one of the things I'm championing. So if you need a board member to get behind it, you need me to rant and rave or go talk to somebody, I'm your guy.
We'll talk to the high schools, and I also want to let you know that Mitzi is bringing it to the community day school as well. So when I was
Yes, I
there
heard
last
about
week,
that.
she's starting up a TED club there
Oh,
as
she
well.
is, there at Community Day?
Yes.
Oh, very good. This is, I'm a strong advocator for the things that this has done for the students that were involved. Ms. Stover took a student back to Washington, D.C. a couple years ago. So I think this is a really good program, and I'd like to see us move forward with it.
Thank you, Mr.
We got nothing but
Rogers.
nodding heads. That's good news. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Mr. Lee.
Yeah, I've kind of talked about this a little bit before, and I'll just continue to talk about it till I see something, because that seems to work sometimes. My passion, I think, for until I'm no longer on this board in 3 years, 1 month, and a couple of days, is that we get some sort of class, some sort of teaching, something to teach a kid in high school what compound interest looks like, that credit card money isn't free, that they can balance a checkbook, they understand what a loan is, and those kinds of things. Because I think we have some really smart kids that have no clue how to do those kind of things. I mean, even just, it would be way beyond my expectation, but if they could just work QuickBooks would be a good step forward. But we got to find a place where we can fit that. I know there's been some conversation at LA Unified about it. I know there's been some conversation in Sacramento about it. You know, tell me what I need to do, and I'll go bang the drum and fly to Sacramento, do whatever I got to do. But it's, I just think it's something important. I see it over and over again where kids just don't have a clue. So that's it. Thanks.
Credit cards isn't free money? That's kind of almost un-American.
I understand that.
Yeah, Mr. Lee, we actually have a teacher at North High School, Sean Sweet, that is an economics teacher that is also interested and is kind of spearheading an effort and has some materials and has started some initial implementation at his site. And then as we got school going, is going to then call on some colleagues at the other schools, get them together, kind of form a committee about how we can move forward with this.
Well, I'm pretty sure that, you know, there's people in the banking community that I know have offered to help. Maybe not Wells Fargo right now, but some other people. But I know there's a lot of people in the financial communities are willing to help. A lot of people in the community would be willing to help on these issues, just so that they have a working understanding of it as they leave. Because the minute they end up in college, somebody's offering them a credit card.
Oh, much sooner
And
than
that's
that.
a frightening thought for mine.
That's a great idea. Yes. Thank you. And if there's no further business, I would like to go ahead and adjourn this meeting. And thank you again to all of this listening to us, Cabinet, regarding the good news presentations today. That's a great way of listening to us and exposing our awesome things that our community is doing. And congratulations again to all of the recipients that received their awards today. So I'd like to adjourn this meeting. Thank you.
Just like that.
Good night.
Good night, Mrs. Reagans.
Bye.
thought the good news thing was